supposed to be going.
Epic thread! Epic thread!
Stop.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Epic thread!
Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hello, Linda.
Hello, Steve.
This is a test of the Emergency Podcasting Network. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's going to be a good one today.
All right. Yes, I'm excited. Hey, I'm Linda, also known as Cackles.
Cackles, not Chuckles. What was I writing on this thing? I'm an idiot. This is Steve, also known as Mumbles or Mambles or Marbles. I don't know. I'm going to make it up. And we're broadcasting here from Leaky Basement Studios West. And this is Epic Threads, a podcast about amazing, confusing, uplifting, and sometimes just crazy town commenting threads on the interwebs. This is episode 6, and we're calling this one the transportation episode.
I love that we have a theme for this episode.
Theme, it's sort of pulled together.
Yeah. So, Steve, how can people get in touch with us?
Thanks for asking, Linda.
Sure.
I will tell you. We are online at epicthreadspodcast.com. We're on Facebook at Epic Threads Podcast. On Twitter, we're at ThreadsEpic to see if you're paying attention, or ThreadsEpic. Or you can email us at info@epicthreadspodcast.com. We'd love to hear from you.
And if you like us, use the hashtag #EpicThreadsPodcast and take a moment to review us in iTunes or Stitcher or SoundCloud or wherever you like to get our podcast from.
Yeah, and if you use the hashtag #EpicThreadsPodcast, you would be the very first person to do so. And so we appreciate it if you do. So we have a name for follow-ups. We have a new name.
Yay!
and it's actually thread related. So it's backstitch, right?
Yes, backstitch.
Which is what?
So you backstitch on a sewing machine to reinforce something, like when you start a new seam.
Ah, okay. We're sort of leaning into gender roles here a little bit, aren't we?
I took a sewing class.
I should know this stuff. We have 15 sewing machines at our house.
You do.
Okay, so our backstitch for this one, way back in episode 3 on our show notes online, and this is a big thanks to my coworker Ben, who's a Star Wars fanatic. We, and by we I mean me, I misspelled Darth Vader. Darth Vader. So here we are asking for corrections on Star Wars, and we get them quite readily. So also, I want to just do a big thanks and a shout out to Sam and Ross Like Things. It's a local podcast here in Richmond, Virginia. We basically ripped off their show format.
Yes.
But they also did a great shout out on their podcast recently for us. So
yeah, it's pretty good.
Go check out Sam and Ross Like Things wherever you get your podcasts. It's a real positive podcast, and it's basically about them liking things and people writing in and liking things without hedging. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the quick stitches. This is the segment where we get into quick threads that tickle our fancy on the worldwide interweb. So I think we're starting with you.
Yes.
What you got?
So Blair Braverman on Twitter, she lives in Wisconsin and she's currently training for the 1,000-mile trek across Alaska in the Iditarod.
Oh yeah, cool. The sled, dog sled thing.
Dog
cool.
sled. So she raises dog sleds, and she's written a book about it before.
Dog sleds?
Oh, she raises dog sleds. She raises sled dogs.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And she seems to have a lot of compassion for her animals. And so she started this thread. She had one dog named Glory who just wasn't cut out to be a sled dog. So she seemed to like people more than pulling the sled. So Blair sent Glory out west to live with her parents in the Great Northwest. So Blair started this thread. You see the transition going to Blair's mom's house.
Do we have a title for this thread? Did we mention that already?
Glory Goes West.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, you can check it on Twitter.
Okay.
And then what Blair gets into is the other dogs on the team are writing Glory postcards, of which she is translating.
Oh, I love it. I love this. There is a whole thing of threads of people personifying, like anthropomorphizing dogs. Like there's the voice of dog, or I can't remember. There's a great Twitter handle, or dog talking, or I can't remember what it is. But anyhow. So
well, it starts out really cute, her brother Xander, I'd love running with you. I think of you when I run. Hope you're getting lots of pets. And then she has a picture of each dog too. That's writing the quote unquote postcard.
Oh, I love this.
But then it gets towards the end where her father, Harry, who is a blind dog, speaks to her. And I got a little choked up when I read it, I have to say. Like, going through all the cute ones, and then it slowly gets just more tugs at your heartstrings. So Harry writes at the very end, but you should know that every night I send up a howl to the stars, and then I sit and listen. From now on, wherever you are, when you howl at the stars, I will hear it and be with you.
Aww.
I know, it's so sweet. And that's what you want from somebody that's far away, you know.
I love it. So
Yes.
what I like about the thread underneath it, like the comments and the responses, is like every single meme of people crying hysterically is in there. And my favorite is the Colbert one where he's like, it's something like, I feel like I can't keep it inside because I'm so full of rainbows right now.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's got like fake mascara on his face and it's streaming. Yeah, it's awesome.
So hashtag Glory Goes West. I did not find this. I actually found it on another podcast called Pop Culture Happy Hour, which is through NPR.
Oh, great.
So go check that out on Twitter. Hashtag Glory Goes West.
For
It's very
all
sweet.
the dog-related feels.
Yes.
I love it. All right, thanks for that. I have one. It's a little random, and I'm going to have to say thanks to Joe, my buddy Joe, for keeping me in the loop on this one. So Joe pointed me to ARL Now, which is Arlington Now. I guess it's an online localized blog post, and the title is Birds Dockless Electric Scooters Now Available in Arlington. This was posted back in late June. So just some background on this. Bird is an LA-based electric scooter sharing company, and they dropped a dozen of their vehicles, their little scooters, around Arlington. So they just place them anywhere. There's no dock. It's not like there's like a rack system or anything. They just basically, I think they just park them like on sidewalks and stuff.
And do you think they asked the town of
So
Arlington?
check this out. So I want to just take a quick step back. Right?
Okay.
So here's the thing. This is all about stupid venture capital money. So there are 3 companies vying to be like the scooter kings of the sidewalks. It's Bird, Lime, and Skip. But this Bird company, they just raised, I'm not kidding, $300 million
Oh my goodness.
on a $2 billion valuation. Like, I mean, it's crazy. So like, basically, I'm going to take my kid's laser. I'm going to strap a motor on it.
Yeah.
Put a old, like iPhone 5 with GPS tracking, and I'm going to sell it to you for $50,000.
Wow.
In any case, so this Bird company, with all their money, they're flush with cash, they just placed their scooters in Arlington. They didn't ask. They just did
really?
it. Oh, yeah. They just asked and they just did it. So anyhow, there's a bunch of great comments in the thing below, including a city code expert. But my favorite reaction to the news is on ARL Now is started with a guy named Tadley, or a gal named Tadley, I guess, and it's, can someone drop a couple dozen of these outside A-Town, which is a pub in Arlington, and Don Teets next Friday night? And then Action Jackson 5 responds, drunken scooter jousting coming this weekend and next week to the police report roundup. Clarendon Cruiser says, will they be jousting with their yoga mats? And Triple E responds, nay, they shall be clad in the finest Pikachu onesies, brandishing lasers. And then Registered Commenter, which is a great handle, by the way. I would pay a not unsubstantial admission fee to watch this. And then later, way down the thread, somebody named Cray Murka says, this won't be contentious at all.
I know.
So can you imagine? They're just like, hey, we're just going to do this in your city. So that's, I mean, what's happening is they're getting pushback across the country where they're doing this. And, and the various cities are like, hey, you got to ask about that. And they're like going to impound their thing.
Right.
So, anyhow.
Well, and you would think maybe they could just donate them to a local school or, something like that. Any school would be happy to take them, Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to make money. So, yeah. Anyhow. That was my quick stitch. I loved it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So go check that out on ARL Now. Just type in Bird's dockless electric scooters. You can just look up all the fun stuff about Bird. If you have investment money, maybe go for it.
They might have enough by now.
Right. All right. Let's go to the whole cloth. What do you have for us today?
All right. So this whole cloth is local, but I found it on 2 different sites.
Oh, cool.
Driving down a local street here, Laburnum Avenue, which is a pretty busy street, there was a pothole in the road. And I had seen this before I saw the thread. Someone put a cone with a sign that said pothole and an arrow. So a safety neighbor, let's call him. So then
Safety first. Thank you.
So then I saw it on Nextdoor. We love our Nextdoor here in Bellevue. And it led me to a Reddit post about that. I'm still pretty new at Reddit. But the best was the Reddit title was, "Person on Laburnum, you are the real MVP. Hands up emoji, clap emoji." And that was on July 27th.
Nice.
It's not a huge thread. There's only 24 comments. But people just praise this person for putting this pothole sign there.
Yeah, describe the pothole sign because it's pretty cool.
So it's just a cardboard sign in blue spray paint, pothole, with an arrow pointing right to it.
Like off on the sidewalk, or
no, it's like in the lane because that's where the pothole is.
That is awesome.
Yeah, but I just loved how I saw it first, and then it has totally encompassed my life here. I saw it. I did not take the picture or post it on Reddit.
So what kind of comments? What did we get?
Praising the person, but then there was some jokes. People were trying to nominate my part of town. Glen Allen, which is a town just north of Richmond. You're next. But so there was some jokes in it. There was a GIF which it said, "Remind me of this," and remember Wile E. Coyote and
Roadrunner.
Roadrunner is standing on a big X target and it says "Birdseed here."
Yes.
So
yeah,
reminded that person of it. But then people started fighting about where the pothole was and the sign was. That's what's so funny about it.
Fighting about what?
Where it was. So Laburnum runs from Richmond into Henrico.
I understand. Yeah. So in Richmond here, this Laburnum kind of is this old east-west route that goes through all three counties, or it goes from Henrico in through the city, back out on Henrico, because Henrico's kind of like a hat over Richmond.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right. So people are saying, where is it? I think it's here. I think it's there. And it's like, you're taking the joy away from the fact that someone made a sign for a pothole.
Why would you ruin this?
Yes, unless they wanted to go see it.
Any other jokes in there? Or?
Not the person that posted it on Reddit, but a neighbor of the person wrote, "Folks, I'm not the author of the Reddit post or know who is responsible for the sign. I do live across the street. I do know that this road hazard has been reported." Oh, people were very worried about reporting it to the city. And then people were talking about how the city doesn't do much with that, the backlog. But it did appear this month. I like the author of the Reddit post and want to thank my neighbors who took the initiative and went to the trouble to put up that warning. Thanks.
Nice.
Yeah, so people, we got some good people in Richmond. But you found some other pothole warriors.
I did. It reminded me, when I saw this, it reminded me immediately of Wanksy.
My husband told me about Wanksy.
So this is a few years back in Manchester, England. Somebody that was dubbed Wanksy after Banksy, the famous sort of anachronistic tagger over there. This person got fed up with potholes and so would draw penises on the potholes. And then I guess that caught the attention of the city to cover them up, and they would fill them in real quick. Really, by the way, sloppy pothole fixes.
Oh, yeah.
Just like got to cover the penis.
Yes, exactly.
So that one was great. And then in Portland, Oregon, of course, there were some straight up anarchists who were DIYing the Portland the pothole fixes.
Yeah.
And there's people like in ninja outfits and with full on jackhammers out there fixing potholes. So
I know, it's
classic.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So do we have a tally on this thread? To the notes. Had
to do notes by hand. All right. So, like I said, there was only 24 comments. So there were 2 comments about wanting to be in the running or nominating another town. There were about 7 jokes, 3 serious explanations. We have a water issue in our streets here, which...
Oh, like those undermining the road or something?
Yes, that's the problem.
Man.
Why potholes occur.
Okay, all right.
1 GIF, and then there was 8... Where is this? The fight with... Where is it?
Like
Richmond,
we gotta locate
Henrico.
this.
Yeah. Someone even, and then on Nextdoor, someone even posted the Google bird's eye view of where it is.
Okay.
People get so serious.
All right. Okay. Yeah, people can ruin a fun thread in a heartbeat. But no political stuff in there, which is great.
Nope, no political, no Star Wars, no Star Trek.
Okay, all right, good. All right, so what did we learn today? What do we got? So we learned today, or I learned today, that even though sled dogs don't have opposable thumbs, they can get onto Twitter and post stuff.
Yes, you're right. I learned that people take their potholes very seriously.
Very serious.
And, way to think outside the box to get these potholes filled.
Well, that's what I want to know. Has it been filled? Do we know? Has there been any movement on this pothole?
I will go today and I will check.
All right, that'll be our backstitch, our new name for a future episode. Okay.
Yes.
Well, great. That was a quick one. We got in and out pretty quick on that one.
Yeah.
Hopefully your drive time or whenever you're listening, you appreciate it. And if you do appreciate it, how would you get in touch with a crazy group like us?
Yes. So if you have any threads you want to share with us or give us any feedback.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Sharing us threads is awesome because we just, we have our normal lives. So
we
it's
do.
Great, and we have an army of people looking out for it.
Yes. So on Facebook, go to @EpicThreadsPodcast. Twitter is @ThreadsEpic. And you can just go to our Facebook page, epicthreadspodcast.com. And our email is info@epicthreadspodcast.com.
Remember, you can be the first person to actually use our hashtag #EpicThreadsPodcast. Maybe it's too long. Maybe we need to do ET podcast. But then people might come in looking for the alien or who knows. But in any case, and please take a moment to review us on iTunes or wherever you get these podcasts. Mm-hmm. All right. That's number what? Number 6. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We really appreciate it. We love all the comments and sharing of threads, and we'll see you next time.
Yes.
All right. Take it easy.
Bye.
Ah. Hey.
Hello.
What is it?
Huh?
Episode 6?
Yes.
Okay. We're on episode 6. Okay.